Death, where is the victory you thought you had? Death, where is your sting? 1 Corinthians 15:55. It was the day of preparation for the Passover, and the Jewish leaders didn't want the bodies hanging there the next day, the Sabbath. So they asked Pilate to have the bodies taken down. "Break the legs of those bodies on the crosses to take them down before the Sabbath."
"Go and make sure they are dead." "Yes, sir."
The soldiers came and broke the legs of the men who had been crucified with Jesus. Then they came to Jesus.
"Wait, I think he is already dead. No need to break his legs."
"Let me make sure he's dead indeed."
The soldier pierced Jesus' side with a spear. A sudden flow of blood and water came out from his side. These things happened so that the scripture would be fulfilled. Not one of his bones will be broken. Psalm 34:20. They will look on the one they have pierced. Zechariah 12:10. Joseph of Arimathea, a secret disciple of Jesus, asked Pilate for the body of Jesus. Nicodemus came with Joseph.
"You are permitted to take his body."
"I will get the help to take Jesus from the cross."
"I will get the myrrh and aloes."
They came to Golgotha.
"We have come to take down the body of the Master."
They took the body of Jesus from the cross and wrapped it in a clean linen cloth with the spices, in accordance with Jewish burial customs. Then they placed the body in a new tomb that was cut out of the rock. The tomb belonged to Joseph of Arimathea. They rolled a big stone in front of the entrance to the tomb. The women saw where Jesus was laid. The next day, the chief priests and the Pharisees went to Pilate again.
"We remember that while he was still alive, that deceiver said, 'After 3 days I will rise again.' So give the order for the tomb to be made secure until the 3rd day."
"Take these guards, or go make the tomb as secure as you know how."
So they went and made the tomb secure by putting a seal on the stone and posting the guards.
"This will prevent his disciples from stealing his body and telling the people that he has been raised from the dead."
The soldiers stood guard at the tomb day and night. The first night, the second night, the third night. Very early Sunday morning, Mary Magdalene, Mary the mother of James, and other women took the spices they had prepared and went to the tomb.
"Mary Magdalene, who will roll this stone away from the entrance of the tomb? None of us has the strength to move it."
"I don't know." But when they arrived, they saw that the stone, which was very large, had been rolled away. They looked inside the tomb. They did not see Jesus' body. Mary Magdalene hurriedly went to find the disciples. The women went into the tomb. Suddenly, 2 men in bright clothes stood before them.
"You are looking for Jesus the Nazarene, who was crucified. He has risen. He is not here. See the place where they laid him? Go, tell his disciples and Peter, he is going ahead of you into Galilee. There you will see him, just as he told you."
Mary Magdalene found Peter and the other disciples. "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb. We don't know where they've put him." Peter and John immediately started running to the tomb. John outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He did not go in, but he looked in at the strips of linen lying there. Simon Peter came along behind him and went straight into the tomb. John also went in, and both saw strips of linen lying there, as well as the cloth that had been wrapped around Jesus' head. Then they left and went back to their place, wondering what had happened. But Mary Magdalene stayed behind at the tomb. She stood outside the tomb crying, "They have taken my Lord away. Where have they put him?"
"Woman, why are you crying? Who is it you are looking for?"
Mary turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not realize it was Jesus. "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have put him, and I will get him."
"Mary."
"Rabboni," which is Hebrew for teacher.
"Do not hold on to me, for I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go find my brothers and tell them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God."
Mary immediately ran to find the disciples. "I have seen the Lord. He talked to me." However, many of the disciples did not believe her story. At the same time, the guards went into the city and reported to the chief priests what had happened.
"The dead man has risen and escaped. Tell us exactly what happened."
"It was a quiet night just like the other nights. Suddenly, there was a violent earthquake. An angel appeared. He rolled back the stone and sat on it. His appearance was like lightning. We were very scared. We were like dead men. We did not know what happened next."
"Here is some money for you. You are to say, his disciples came during the night and stole him away while we were asleep. If this report gets to the governor, we will satisfy him and keep you out of trouble."
So the soldiers took the money and did as they were instructed. The next day, 2 of the disciples were going to a village called Emmaus, which was about 7 miles from Jerusalem. 7 miles equals 11.27 kilometers. On the road, they were talking with each other about everything that had happened. Jesus came up and walked along with them.
"Shalom, my friends. What are you discussing together as you walk along?"
They did not recognize it was Jesus.
"Are you the only one visiting Jerusalem who doesn't know the things that have happened there these last few days?"
"What things?"
"About Jesus of Nazareth. He was a prophet, powerful in word and deed before God and all the people. But the chief priests and our rulers sentenced him to death, and they crucified him. That was 3 days ago. Now some women came and said that they have seen him alive. Then some of our friends went to the tomb and could not find his body."
"How foolish you are.
Didn't the prophets speak about the Messiah, that he was to suffer these things and then enter his glory?" And beginning with Moses and all the prophets, he explained to them what was said in all the scriptures concerning himself. They arrived at the village of Emmaus.
"We will stay here for the night." "Wait, my friend."
Jesus continued on as if he were going further.
"It is dark already. Please stay with us for the night. We want you to tell us more about the scriptures."
"Sure."
"Welcome. Here is some bread and some wine."
Jesus took the bread and gave thanks. Then he broke the bread. He gave it to the disciples. Immediately their eyes were opened and they recognized him.
"Jesus!"
Then Jesus disappeared from their sight.
"That is Jesus! He is alive! We need to go back to Jerusalem and tell the others about this." Were not our hearts burning within us while he talked with us on the road and opened the scriptures to us? Yes, that's amazing.
They returned at once to Jerusalem and found the other disciples.
The Lord has risen, and we have seen him.
Then they told them what had happened on the road. While they were still talking about this, Jesus himself stood among them.
Peace be with you.
They were surprised, frightened, thinking they saw a ghost.
Touch my hands and see. A ghost does not have flesh and bones, as you see I have.
Some still did not believe, so Jesus asked for a piece of broiled fish and ate it in their presence. They were full of joy and amazement. Then Jesus opened their minds so they could understand the Scriptures. Thomas was not with the disciples when Jesus came.
We have seen the Lord.
But Thomas did not believe them.
Unless I see the nail marks in his hands, and put my finger where the nails were, and put my hand into his side, I will not believe.
A week later, Jesus' disciples were in the house again, and Thomas was with them, and the doors were locked. Jesus came and stood among them.
Peace be with you. Thomas, come to me. Reach out your hand. Put your finger here. See my hands? Put it into my side. Stop doubting and believe.
Thomas knelt and worshipped Jesus.
My Lord and my God.
You have believed because you have seen me. Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have believed.